So how do you make it? How do you overcome the odds?
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell.
Or you could be like me. Dream of pro football, get hurt, dream over. Find yourself with just $7 in your pocket. So how did I get here? By being the hardest worker in the room.
Now it's time to see who has the heart. Now is the time to prove to yourselves and prove to everyone out there you are somebody. You are worthy of something. And you're able to do something special that no one else in the world can do. Are you ready to go out there and take what's yours? Yeah! What you worked hard for? Yeah!
All of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have. We all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes. Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves. They beat themselves up about it. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. When suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island and you're the head of the army and you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should. That's what makes human beings succeed.
Ego is the success inhibitor. You have to do your best not to make decisions based off of ego, for sure.
Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second. Because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. And so, that second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground in that second. And in every second. Every second counts. So, make every second count.
The dream shattered, sent home with $7 in my pocket. I was like, wait, no, I gotta play in the NFL eventually. Those are my big goals. That's my dream. You realize that playing in the NFL was the best thing that never happened because it got me here. So my point is, look, you're gonna get your ass kicked. We're gonna get the shit kicked out of us. You gotta get up. You gotta have faith that the one thing you wanted to happen oftentimes is the best thing that never happened. So have faith and just keep that in mind and keep plugging away.
Dr. Carter had a tear in his eye. I could tell he felt for me. And he said, son, I'm sorry to say you're not gonna box again.
Vinny was involved in a very serious car accident that nearly killed him. It broke his neck.
I will tell you this, there is no more destructive belief in the world than to think that life happens to you. The first thing you do is you play what I call the blame game.
After months of rehab against doctor's orders, he got back in the ring.
You start blaming everybody for why you don't have what you want. You'll blame the government, you'll blame your family, you'll blame your spouse, you'll blame your boss, you'll blame the economy, you'll blame anybody and everybody when you think the world happens to you. You're powerless. The second thing you do is you justify. It is because the economy stinks, it's because people are unfair to me.
And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am gonna box again.
And Vinny Pazienza is the junior middleweight champion of the world.
They justify. Third, and this is the worst one of all, is they complain. When you're complaining, what are you focusing on?
And everything, again, life, most of life comes down to psychology, doesn't it? It starts here, in the internal world. Before you can master the external world, you have to master your own internal world. That's the true secret to success.
You really have to have a passion about it, and you have to have a reason to succeed. You can't, it isn't to be just something that you want to be.
You see, you don't understand what kind of man I am.
The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard. The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards. That all of us in life have things we want, We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes. The difference in people is their standards, period. Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves. They beat themselves up about it. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. When suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change. If you want to take the island and you're the head of the army and you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should. That's what makes human beings succeed. We don't get what we want. We get what we have to have.
Every human being is thirsty for a vision. Everyone is. And so few people have one. So what do? They gravitate towards someone who has a vision for the future because they want to be a part of a vision. It's got to be something above your goals, and that's your vision for the future. And it's not just about, it doesn't have like an ending point. It's about the world being a certain way. And that's inspiring to you. When you truly have a vision for your future that inspires you, you're going to jump up out of bed in the morning and feel great about going at life versus being miserable and going to a job you hate or living a life that doesn't empower you and just, every day moving through just almost like an automaton, not really, having the zest and the greatness of life.
As a matter of fact, I love it when someone says that no one has ever done this before, because then when I do it, that means that I'm the first one that has done it. So pay no attention to the people that say it can't be done.
It's not because you set your goals too high and miss. You set your goals too low and you hit them.
The difference in people is their standards, period.
And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am going to box again.
It's that extra inch. That's where you want to set your goal. You want to set the goals just above your comfort zone.
And I'm talking about not what your parents and teachers want you to be, but you. I'm talking about figuring out for yourselves what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to the people.
I don't think it's that hard. I think what happens though sometimes is that we let our intellectual selves overrule those passions. And so that's what needs to be guarded against.
To tell you how much power you have in your mind. We are all a work in progress. We are all a work in progress. I just want to remind you of the power of the mind. You can create the outcome of your hour, your week, your month, and your year. You just have to decide in your mind what you want it to be. But there's more power in the mind than you probably like to think and give yourself credit for.
And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am gonna box again.
Anybody can dream it, but you'll never see it until you're willing to be committed to it. When I didn't have anything, church didn't have any members, I'd get off work in that car buy, and drive up the roads and work on the church till I had to turn around and go back to work. We worked when we didn't have food. We worked when we didn't have lights. I was putting my whole check in the offering, all of it, trying to keep it going. When I finally got some staff, I went on the road preaching, and whatever I made on the road preaching, I brought it home to make the payroll of the staff. And sometimes I got them paid and couldn't pay me. Commitments. Looked like a fool. Didn't have any clothes. Suits was falling off me. Lining wore out my clothes. Couldn't send them to the cleaners. Had to wash my suit in the washing machine. They laughed at me. Looked like an old raggedy country preacher. I had holes in my shoes. They laughed at me. They said that boy's lost his mind. He'll never be nothing. He stutters. He's got a lisp when he speaks. He'll never be a preacher. I don't care what you think. If you are committed to what you believe.
It's not going to be easy. It was hard laying on the floor of the Penobscot building, looking out of the window, daydreaming, saying, Les, can you do this? Can you make this happen? I used to listen to tapes day in and day out about see you at the top, don't let nobody steal your dream. I used to ask myself, can I do this? And something said within me, you're the one. You're the one. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. While you're here, and before you go back home to your respective cities and communities, write down at least 5 reasons on why you deserve your dream, on why you won't give up, what's going to make you unstoppable, why you must be unreasonable, because logical, practical thinking says you can't do it today. But if you want to produce unreasonable results in your life, like living your dream and taking charge of your destiny, you've got to be an unreasonable person. You've got to be an uncommon person.
If you don't know, now you know. It's true. Your friends, family, and loved ones will be the first ones to try and talk you out of greatness. When you're ready to do something and try something new that's out of your comfort zone, that's out of your norm, it's always the one you're dating, the one you're married to, the one that's in your family, your friends in your immediate circle, that will always try and talk you out of doing something special and significant. without having fear and rejection, without having fear of the word no. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to make, and they allowed the word no to stop them from changing the landscape of their life and their family lives? So many people are afraid of rejection and the word no. It is the saddest shit I've ever witnessed in my life. Boldly walk into the room with your head held up high. And if they don't get it, laugh about it. Don't disown your ideas because they're disowning your ideas. Don't lose confidence in your ideas because they don't have confidence in your ideas. Keep the faith. Don't be afraid to walk into the unfamiliar. Don't be afraid to do what's deep inside of you to do.
No matter what you say I cannot do, no matter what you say I will not do, I must do. I have to do. I am king. I live as king. I walk as king. Passion is free. Nobody can charge you with passion. Nobody can tell you what passion looks like. Because that's all about you. Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated, because nobody can dictate it. Effort is 100% in the mind. Blocking, tackling, until they get tired. Because you don't know what tired feels like.
I can do 18, 22 hours a day easily. Just keep banging on. To thrive in whatever you do, please understand your terrain. Know what your target is. Don't guess it. Be as clued up as the next man, because that's your petrol. That's your fuel to get you moving. If you don't know where you're going, what your targets are, you're never going to get there, period. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to fall over, make a mistake. That oftentimes cripples people on the onset of getting into anything. I'm not afraid of that feeling. It actually propels me and works quite the opposite. Work hard, sleep less.
Just imagine myself collecting awards. Just imagine myself, you know what I mean, getting big parts. Imagine myself working with the greatest actors. My imagination was the one like, yeah man, I see myself driving that car one day. And I get that, you know what I mean? That's part of my inner magic, is that actually if I can see myself doing it, I could probably do it.
Just keep banging on. Keep your head down. Like when I swim, I've got 25 laps, guaranteed if I look up and start counting those laps, I'm petered out by 15. If I put my head down and keep working away and work at technique, work at internal rhythm, work at, I hit that length, I don't even know what length I'm on, guarantee you I'll look up and it'll be 20 and 2 more, 3 more to go. And that's a very simple device, but I think people find themselves incrementally checking how far they've got. And that, you know, when you compare it to anybody else or whatever, it's just it's a recipe for disaster. Just keep banging on. Achievement is inspirational to me, you know, people doing it. Someone that on Monday didn't know how to do this and by Friday can do it. That is an inspiration to me.
I've always worked hard, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not afraid of failing either. You know what I'm saying? Like I've thought that so many times that this is it, I'm never going to work again, and it just kept going. I've just never stopped working, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even when, you know, I had 4 years of not actually booking jobs, I was out on the streets trying to get a job.
Work hard, sleep less.
People talk about aiming for the skies. Sometimes even aiming for the skies is intimidating. Just don't give yourself boundaries. I mean, lose the boundaries, lose the conformity, and just go for it.
I used to hustle these streets, thinking about, you know, one day I'm going to be on in New York, and New York was that, you know, sort of big pinnacle mountain, and here I am.
What will you begin?
I have the saying, work like someone's trying to take it all away from you. You know, work actually work like someone's spending 24 hours, working 24 hours to take it all away from you. Right?
And when sometimes people don't have the determination, the will, and the steadfastness, the tenacity, they give in under the slightest struggle.
Really viewed myself as particularly talented. I viewed myself as, you know, slightly above average in talent. And where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
You know, hard work pays. I put in a hell of a lot of work. Hard work pays. I mean, I'm sitting at the top. I put it all on the line. I show up, I perform, and I get the results from that.
And discipline, doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. You know, always testing yourself and forcing yourself to the limits.
You have to have some ability, but then it's just how much will. I really do think there's just a thing people underestimate. It doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't sound cool. How much do you want it? Work ethic, you know, and just how badly do you want it?
That's what success in general is all about, sacrifice, from my experience.
Every damn person who said I wouldn't be anything, I'm crushing them every day.
Time slows down for no man. So the question is, how much time you gonna waste?
Look for the job that you would take if you didn't need a job. Don't sleepwalk through life, and don't say it's all going to be great. You know, I'll do this and I'll do that, and you know, I'm just marking time till I get to be older. You really want to be doing what you love doing, and you can't necessarily find it on your first job.
Given all the opportunities that are there in the world, to try and figure out the thing that actually makes you want to get up in the morning, the thing that you actually love. I feel this thing that should exist, and you take that leap of faith that it may work. I would still go home from whatever that day job is, and I would try to do it because I love it, not because I really want to make a certain amount of money. Figure out the thing that makes you tick. Find that thing. That young people feel like if they don't know what they're born to do, that they're somehow broken. And I think that it needs to be looked at differently, which is that it means if you don't know that thing, it means that every door is the possibility. And if you can find that thing and deal with the pressure of maybe not making the amount of money that you would like to yet, or not getting to the company you'd like to yet, or not having success with your startup yet, these are all things that I think you can swallow if the thing you're doing speaks to you.
It's that constant pursuit of the unobtainable, which is kind of magic, really.
To approach something with a kind of excitement that is shared in this weird way where you just know it makes you happy. He'll say, I'm working on this thing, but I don't know if anyone's gonna like it. It feels sort of like this boring thing that I love, you know, and it's amazing how often that boring thing that you love becomes a sensation. I think the key is to do that. I would say don't stress yourself out. Your voice is as important as anyone else's. And so it's a lot easier to actually write a screenplay than you think it is. It might not be good, but most people talk about writing screenplays but don't actually write them. The people who write them, you're already like in, you know, the top 10% because you actually have written it.
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
It was a young man who, you know, he wanted to make a lot of money, and so he went to this guru, right? He told the guru, you know, I want to be on the same level you on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m.
Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Everybody gets excited. E.T., the guru story, but nobody wants to get up at 3 o'clock.
He liked the beach. I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water.
Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do.
So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he said, come out a little further. Walked out a little further. Then he had it right around this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. He came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man like, I'm about to go back in here. This God is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man getting scratching, holding him down. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up.
You can't just say you want it. You can't watch the video and say, I want it as bad as I want to breathe. It's cute to say it. But when it's showtime, when the sun comes up, you've got all the books, you've got all the tapes, you've got all the access. Now it's time to hunt. And what separates you from everybody else is that when it's time to hunt, you're ready to hunt.
You may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true. Because the way that our minds are wired, and the fact about human beings, is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable, or scary, or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us. You're never going to feel like it. Motivation's garbage. You only feel motivated to do the things that are easy.
Whether it's hard or easy doesn't matter. You're doing this.
He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? The only thing you're trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
I know how you feel. I went to bed last night, had all these ideas about how you're going to get up this morning. It's going to be different. Things are going to be different. Today you're going to start taking steps towards doing some of those projects that you know get you closer to living that dream life you keep playing over and over in your head.
Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do.
Most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep.
Train hard when no one's in the room, when you're having a bad day, through death, through hardship, through anything that can go wrong. There would be days I would train by myself or with my fiance Cherie, and I would be in there dying. I'd be in there dying, looking at those pictures in the gym of Schwarzenegger, of Coleman, of Haney, of Dorian, of everybody. And I would just tell myself, one more set, one more rep, just give it everything you got so you can put yourself in the best position to win. And that's all we can do in life, people. Sometimes life is gonna serve you up some curveballs, but I challenge each and every one of you to step in that batter's box and take a damn swing. Just take a swing. And it ain't gonna always work out for you. It ain't gonna always work out. I've had one trainer, one. I did my first pro show in 2006 at the Colorado Pro. We did the New York Pro after that, and we won both of them. And a lot of people thought, you know what, this guy's gonna be something. And Hani always told me, Phil, you have to understand something. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and a measurement of a man is when he gets knocked down, not when he's winning. So I lost a few times. And he always reminded me just to keep on going and be the hardest worker in the room, just like what you say. And when people tell you you can't, you don't look at them. You don't need to look at them. You look in the mirror and you ask yourself, do you give it your all? You look at the mirror and you ask yourself, do you have another rep? You ask yourself, can I go to work when I'm pissed off because I'm about to get fired or something bad happened or lost my girlfriend or whatever it is? You ask yourself, do you have the guts to go after it when no one is watching, no one's patting you on the back, and no one is liking your stuff on freaking social media? If you got the guts to go after it, you can put yourself in best position to win, and that's what I did through this entire prep. It was not easy. A lot of people say, oh, Phil, he's got genetics and this and that. I put that God-given talent to work each and every damn day in the gym. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the Olympia. I'm so thankful to be a bodybuilder because it wasn't meant for me to play basketball. I mean, look at me, I'm short as hell. You know, it doesn't work out like that. God had a different plan, obviously, and I'm glad that I listened. And I'm glad that I never gave up. And I know there's a lot of incredible athletes wanting to kick my ass next year, but I know this, winning is habitual. If you care about your success more than anyone else in the room, I promise you this, you will be successful at some point in time. But the goal is that when you are successful, that you don't just hide it for yourself. You don't just hold it for yourself. You share those experiences and perspectives with everybody else so that they can get theirs. So then they can feel the confidence to go after their dreams. And I'm just proud to be a 7-time Mr. Olympia. And like the great Oak said, next year, I'll be back.
And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you're going to have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you got to want it.
You gotta go days without, listen to me, you gotta wanna be successful so bad that you forget to eat. Beyonce said once she was on the set doing her thing, 3 days had gone by, she forgot she didn't eat because she was engaged. 50 said that when he wasn't doing the movie, he was doing the soundtrack. And they said, when do you sleep, 50? Sleep, he said, sleep. Sleep is for those people who are broke. I don't sleep.
There is something better for you to do with your time than even being here. Right now, I am Mr. Resistance. I'm distracting you from doing the work you need to do.
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
He said, what you see in the light is exactly what who people are in the dark.
About there's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. Because that hurts. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt it, you backed off. The first time you felt, that burn, the first time you felt that it's too much. And we rationalize with ourselves to where we automatically stop.
And as human beings, failure is not a bad thing. Ask yourself, what's the opportunity from the failure, and get in the game, because when you get to the last hour of your last day, it will not be the failures you regret, it'll be all the risks you didn't take.
That's why a bunch of us give up so much in life so quickly. But suppose I told you the greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today.
You cannot get to the mountaintop without taking a few missteps.
The greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today. And when I fell, I remember laying on the ground. And I said, Lou, ain't nobody out here gonna help you get up. What makes you get up when you fall down? What makes your mentality change if there's a great situation or there's a bad situation? How do you dictate that based off the level of pain? They done wrote me off. I said, I might as well pack it up. That many people got control over what I do from this point forward, going forward. That many people can tell me.
I believe that's the single most important element that separates the quality of people's lives. It's not just the ability to have hunger, but to sustain it. Hunger means that you want more. You want more of yourself. You want to make a bigger difference. The one thing they all have in common, I think, is they're hungry. Most people start out with hunger at an early stage of life and they lose it. But the people that come to me are hungry either because something's happened. I think everybody is born with hunger. Like there's a desire to grow, to expand, to learn, and then disappointment sets in early in life for most people. And then we look to blame something outside of ourselves. And there are many events in our lives that can affect us all. We've all had pain and challenges. If you can find within yourself the part of you that wants to constantly give something more than yourself, if you can find a mission larger than yourself, then you're more pulled to do something than trying to push yourself.
Didn't have enough strength. And I sat there for 30 minutes until I made up in my mind, stop crying. Just grab the bar. See, sometimes we think the pain is what controls us. It's actually our subconscious mind. That's what dictates most of our lives. That if you can find a way to push through, that if you can find a way to not make it about you. Learn to appreciate the occasional storms that come in your life. Just learn to appreciate how small they are, the occasional storms that come every day. And then that's the ingredient. Pain is a repetition of the cycle. Until you learn how to figure it out, until you learn how to tap it on the back and say, I know you there, but I'm built to deal with you. I don't want nobody to leave here today and not understand why we must find a way to push through pain to understand that's on the other side of that is glory. I realized that I turned my greatest pain into my greatest achievement. A lot of kids don't
until it's too late. The one thing I watched the most in my career was wasted talent, to where it's almost scary that people will throw away opportunities like that.
See, if you're playing it safe, you're not going to win. If you're playing it safe, it's by trying things that you figure out how far you can go. You got to get outside the box.
There's two sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. You remember what that felt like. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory.